What is up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking ahead to Game Week 5 and my first transfer plans. What is up everyone, FPL Harry here, and today, as we always do at the beginning of a new week, we are looking ahead to the upcoming game week. Going to look at my first transfer plans, how my team is currently lining up, looking at the next game week 5, coming on Tuesday. Yes, that's right, we have our first midweek deadline going into game week 5. It is Tuesday evening, so don't forget to lock in your teams much earlier this week as it is a separate game week. It's not a double game week like a few of you have been asking. It is a separate game week 5 starting on Tuesday, and another game week in game week 6 starting on Saturday again. So lots of FPL to come. Game week 4 has been quite good to me so far, quite happy with that. I'm recording before any of the Sunday matches. I know the lineups for the first 2 o'clock games in the UK, 3 o'clock here in Spain. I am still on holiday, but yeah, let's get in and have a look at how I'm lining up so far for game week 5. So I've made no transfers as of yet, and my team is lining up for game week 5 as it is on screen. I'm currently planning on playing a 3-5-2 formation. Sanchez keeps his place in goal, the highest scoring goalkeeper so far. So happy I made the switch at the beginning of the season to move from the Leicester double up and get Sanchez in. He's been so good. In defense, Trent, the man that was mass sold going into game week 4, has finally shown that he can get the returns that we all knew he can. However, a player that is not getting the returns that maybe we thought he could is Cancelo. He's next up alongside Reece James in my defense. Reece James getting that late clean sheet wipeout, but he did pick up an assist and a bonus point as well. So I was pretty happy with how he got on in game week 4, and I'm still pretty pleased with these all. Cancelo is an interesting one. He's actually got my vice captaincy at the moment, although he's being mass sold going into this week. It's a really nice fixture for him, and I'm pretty sure he's going to start as well, which might not be the case for all of our Manchester City assets, and we'll talk about that in just a moment as well. But I do like the fixture. I do like what he's capable of, but his attacking numbers are not quite the same as we've seen in previous seasons. In midfield, Salah does keep his place 9-0, and Salah gets absolutely nothing. It's been all over Twitter, it's been all over YouTube, I'm sure. How on earth has he got nothing? He was my captain this week. How he blanked when they scored 9 goals is unbelievable. It will never happen again. The most unbelievable thing I think I've ever seen in FPL. Now, at the moment, I've still got Martinelli, I've still got Saka. We had a blank for Martinelli, as we saw a blank for Jesus as well. Saka picking up an assist, I was quite happy with that, as it was a big differential, but I did really want more for him if he was going to stay in my team, and he's the first player that I'm really considering transferring out. Elsewhere, we have Gross, who got that 11-pointer, big return given Rodrigo blanked. Very happy with that over the past 2 weeks. Gross has now outscored Rodrigo by 2 points. Pereira does start for me this week, given Trippier has a difficult fixture against Liverpool. Again, Trippier may end up coming in, as I know he can return in any match. Let's see how he gets on today. And then up front, we have Jesus and we have Haaland as well. Now, looking at the players that I'm particularly unhappy with, Saka for me, only 2 assists for him so far this season. Trippier, again, it's a difficult fixture. He's on the potential transfers out list for me every single week. And then we have Patterson as well. I'm not a big fan of how Everton are performing. He's definitely got to be one that I'm considering transferring out. He is a 4.0 million option, but there are some other cheap options I could definitely go with, given that I have 0.9 million and 2 free transfers to play with as well. So this is how we're lining up. Captaincy armband at the moment is actually on Cancelo, with the vice captain on Salah. It could even fall on Gabriel Jesus as well. That's one decision I've still got to make between now and the game week deadline as well. So we've spoken about a few players, how I'm lining up, but let's get into my actual transfer plans and the players I'm considering selling and their potential replacements. The first one we won't talk about too much, as I've spoken about him quite a lot in the past couple of videos, is Kieran Trippier of Newcastle. Those difficult fixtures, especially in game week 5, is really what's putting me off. He is a good asset, but there are more explosive assets that I could potentially go and get, in the likes of Cucurella, who picked up another assist, and particularly Perisic of Tottenham. While I've got 2 free transfers, it does feel like an okay time to potentially make the move from Trippier out to Perisic. However, Trippier does continue to impress, and I think selling him is a difficult thing for me to go and do. As well as that, I've spoken a lot about the game week 8 wildcard, and I don't really think this is necessarily when I'm going to want to play it. If we look at their fixtures on the horizon as well, Newcastle, they play Bournemouth, Fulham and Brentford in game weeks 8, 9 and 10. It's a good time for me to be keeping him, and I hopefully can rotate him in and out of my squad. Now, I don't actually have anyone apart from Pereira that I could bench him for in these game weeks where he doesn't have a good fixture, like Liverpool and like West Ham in the coming weeks, which is a bit of a concern for me, because I'm not trusting Patterson, and although Andreas Pereira's look good, he's not really a player that I want to start in my team. Saliba as well at Arsenal picked up another assist for the Gabriel goal. The Arsenal fixtures still look good. They're not keeping as many clean sheets, but I think those will come, and he looks nailed and is only going to go up in price as well. So Trippier, a constant player that I am considering transferring out ahead of the future weeks. Next up, we have the cheap option in Patterson, a 4.0 defender. Everton have just not looked good so far this season. I don't expect them to keep any clean sheets in their next few. Leeds away, Liverpool and Arsenal in their next 3, and it doesn't get that much easier after that as well. There are plenty of cheap replacements that I could go and get. Saliba in here as well, so I could go down from Trippier to go and get Saliba, or I could go up from Patterson, given that I have money in the bank as well. Fofana moving to Chelsea at 4.4 million now could be a great asset. The attacking threat maybe not that much for him, but he is a great defender. He's likely to fill that right centre-back spot as well, which is great news for us Reece James owners as well. And then the final one, new signing for West Ham, is Emerson at 4.0, another 4.0 million option, starting at left wing back for West Ham today. However, the upcoming fixtures for them are very difficult, so he's a big wait and see for me. He's probably the favourite 4.0 option now, given that I've seen he's gone straight into that West Ham team, but I don't necessarily think I'm going to move for him straight away. Next up, we have Haaland. Now, we heard from Pep after game week 3 that he's not going to play every week when they play 3 times a week. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to play against Nottingham Forest, but the chances of him playing against Nottingham Forest, against Aston Villa, and then Tottenham with the Champions League before and after game week 7 as well, I think is unlikely. So I could move him on. If I was going to move him out, then the likes of Harry Kane and Ivan Toney would be the 2 that I would look at. Mitrovic has also looked good, but I don't see myself buying him. Given the fixtures, I'd rather go for Ivan Toney, even though Toney did blank in game week 4 as well. Chances are, after a hat-trick, I'm not going to go and sell Haaland, and I will ride out the wave for when he does get that benching over the next few game weeks, because I think he is the highest scoring forward this season. I think he could even be the highest scoring FPL player this season. If you're in the same situation, I'm sure it'll be all over the comments. Don't go selling Haaland. For me, he is a keep. He might even be a captaincy option if we get early team news or something like that. The amount of goals he's scoring, the amount of chances he's getting, he has to be the best forward to own, even when he gets the occasional substitution. And then the final option that we have Bukayo Saka. 2 assists. He got that assist while Martinelli and Jesus did blank, but for me, it just wasn't enough. The big thing for me, I see every week, I say every single game week when I come on these videos, is but he's got a good fixture next week, and he has it again with Aston Villa at home. But I think this is finally time for me to get rid of Bukayo Saka. He's fallen in price once, and a lot of the players I'm potentially bringing in are rising in price as well. There are 3 options that I'm looking at. The first one, Luis Diaz of Liverpool. Now I freed up that Liverpool spot by getting rid of Robertson, who did very well this week. Luis Diaz also doing very well with his 2 goals in that 9-0 win. I'll still never get over the fact they won 9-0 and Salah didn't get anything. But he's risen in price last night on Saturday evening. I didn't make the early move, but I still think he's a nice option. Their fixtures going forward are still good as well. Then we have Rodrigo. I missed the boat on him this week, but he did blank. But I don't necessarily think he's a bad option to go and buy. Great run of fixtures for them over the next 3 fixtures as well. Could be a really good option. Let's see how long Patrick Bamford is being out, but I do like Rodrigo. And then the final one I could go and get was Gundogan. Now, he didn't start in game week 4, which was a real surprise to me. And actually, for anything, we showed that how important he is, that when he came on, they did see a bit of a resurgence and they went on to win that game. He's gone up in price 0.1 up to 7.6, but still at that price, if he consistently starts for Manchester City, I do really like him. Now, there are a variety of price points in here. Saka for me is definitely one player that I'm going to look at. So let's get my team back up and I'll talk to you what my current transfer plans are for this week. So this is my team for the upcoming game week. I have 2 free transfers and 0.9 million in the bank. My current thinking is I will do Bukayo Saka down to Rodrigo of Leeds, and I will upgrade Patterson to Saliba of Arsenal. This will mean that I can bench Trippier this week in a difficult fixture, and I can move Andreas back into the bench and start Saliba in a good fixture this week as well. Then next week, when Saliba has a more difficult fixture, I can bench him and bring Trippier back in. So I haven't made the transfers yet. It is a Tuesday deadline, so I will need to make them soon. There will be a team selection video out before the deadline as well. If you have enjoyed the video and you like my transfer plans, drop a comment down below with any of your questions, what you think about my team as well. Would you bring in Rodrigo, or do you think I've missed the boat on him? Leave a like while you're down there. Subscribe to the channel as well. We are so close to 30,000 subscribers. Hopefully before the Game Week 5 deadline we can do it. So if you can do all you can to support this video and the channel, that would be fantastic. So make sure you've liked the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck in the remainder of Game Week 4, and I'll be back again for Game Week 5 and very soon.